Notre Dame has landed a new commitment, a safety from Ohio, a three-star guy with not very high ranking, not a big time offer list, which I'm sure will get the YouTube comments going. But a commitment that Notre Dame is happy to land from Taebron Bennie-Powell. Comes from the same high school as Notre Dame four-star safety signing in the 2023 class. Ben Minnick, who was already enrolled at the school. Number 1,199 overall player, number 67 athlete, right? So he's ranked as an athlete, not necessarily even a safety right now. Also held offers from West Virginia, Pittsburgh, Duke, and then some group of five schools. Kentucky had also offered him. Picking Notre Dame. We'll talk about his film in just a second. Of course, folks, please do hit the thumbs up on this video. Help support us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content. But there is the important context of Tim. He camped at Notre Dame, 6 days ago?
Yes.
Ran a 4.6 in the 40-yard dash in front of the staff. They liked his shuttle time, his broad jump, tested well. They liked how he moved around in the drills. So yeah, I mean, it's not like Notre Dame's going overseas and getting somebody they don't really know about. I mean, this is a Cincinnati area kid, whereas like half of Notre Dame staff, previous coach at Cincinnati. So we'll talk a little bit more about some of these, the context about him, but let's talk about his tape, Tim. What do you see on his film? And as you can see right here, sorry, Tim, we're 2 minutes in. I haven't even gone to you yet.
That's all good.
I'm pretty sure that's Ben Minnick right there.
Yes.
There's Malik Hartford. There's your two safeties. Hartford went to Ohio State. Minnick's at Notre Dame. Malik, I mean, where the heck is Taebron Bennie-Powell supposed to play?
No, exactly. So they got him on the field. He's basically, when you watch this film, he's like the old school drop backer. Guys remember in the old 3-4, the sandbacker, whatever you want to call that thing. And he's a heat-seeking missile. He blitzes a ton. He plays on the line of scrimmage a lot. He's basically that strong safety down in the box, playing on the line of scrimmage. The first thing, once again, I know guys, what the first thing they do, Mike, they always go to the rankings. They always go see who the offer is. He's a typical solid ACC type guy, which a lot of his offers are. But one thing, when you watch his film, the same thing with Teddy Rizak, when you put his film on and you're like, no Power 5 offers or nothing. He's physical as could be. He plays with no fear. He runs through the ball really well, and he's going to pack a punch. So he's going to be, Mike Goolsby and I talk all the time. He's going to be one of those hybrid 3-3-5 outside backer type guys. I know we keep hearing safety, safety, safety. We'll see. I'm sure he'll play there as a senior year this year with the two Notre Dame and Ohio State guys gone. He gets to play on the back end. So really, really interested and excited to see what he does as a senior, since Notre Dame projects him as a safety. When you watch his film, he's all strong safety, covering the slot guy, kind of like a rover, I would say, instantly when you're watching what you see as a junior.
Yeah, again, the context of he had to play out of position last year is important. And I mentioned Notre Dame's ties to Cincinnati on the staff. I mean, when Freeman, Chad Bowden, director of recruiting, Mike Mickens were, at Cincinnati, they recruited Lakota West pretty heavily. And Tom Bolden, the head coach there, is someone that I know that Notre Dame has great respect for. Cincinnati went and signed a lot of those guys over the years. And Tom Bolden, the head coach over there, says, I got to expand on this one. And Tom tweeted this after Taebron Bennie-Powell goes by BP, by the way, picked up the Notre Dame offer. Tom says, I got to expand on this one. He did what was best for his team junior year, quote unquote, playing out of position because of two dudes at safety. Basically, what we just talked about with Minnick and Hartford. Never complained, owned it. Watch him at his natural position this spring and summer, and he's the best dude out there at it. So, look, at least if Notre Dame's going to take some of these guys that are, maybe flyers or whatnot, I mean, I still think there's plenty of upside here. Yeah, I don't think it's the sexiest commitment for Notre Dame. Does this get them closer to winning a national championship? I don't know, but a lot of people seem to be, excited about this one.
No,
They speak highly of BP. So, yeah, I don't know, Tim. I mean, it's an interesting get. He's an athlete on defense for sure.
Oh yeah, and then don't forget your quarterback coach was at Cincinnati for many years,
There you
Gino
go.
Dooley as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot Cincinnati, and that's a great thing you bring up, Mike, because if they're going to take quote unquote a flyer on a guy, right? You're going to take a project. You're going to take a guy you can see developing down the road here into a good football player by his junior year. Let's say I'm a big fan of by your junior year, give him 2 years, see what happens and whatnot. You're going to your home base. Marcus Freeman and half of the staff know this area, know these coaches and whatnot. So I don't, people may say that's spin or whatnot. You watch the film, the guy can play football. He plays at a really good high school. And like their head coach said, my God, they had Ohio State and Notre Dame playing behind him. So he's going to be a guy we're all going to be excited to watch as a senior because we want to see that safety. We want to see him on the back end. So, but at the same time, they're bringing in these outside backer type guys that could play a multiple positions. I truly believe whether it's strong safety, rover, you got one in the same as we've talked about. Almost everybody in this defensive class that's coming in 2024, Mike.
All right, Tim, I want to talk a little bit more Notre Dame philosophical because this does tie into Bennie-Powell, but the switch, for the lack of a better term,
Mm-hmm.
to 3-3-5. Are you seeing that? Like, what are your thoughts on that shift for Notre Dame? Like, do you think we're going to see a lot more 3-3-5 this year? Like, it seems like Notre Dame is going in that direction. And then you look at some of the recruits that Notre Dame signed, you're like, this makes sense for a 3-3-5 type player. Can you kind of break that down and I mean, give your thoughts on that formation in general?
Yes, I mean it just goes back to Freeman's, history of coaching. He started, the Iowa State head coach who he talked with, trying to get him to come to Notre Dame as his DC a year ago before Al Golden. He interviewed, with Coach Heacock down there at Iowa State, big 3-3-5 guy, and that's who he learned under him. He's grown up. He's always run that system, and I think he's been at Notre Dame 2 years, playing around a lot of those, Clark Lee type guys, filling out his defense there in 21-22. And now he's slowly evolving. I go back to one of his first interviews where he talked about how he wants multiple dudes. He wants the Viper to be the Rover, vice versa. There's quotes out there. And I just stumbled upon that just within the last month, going back doing some old Freeman research. And he talks about that. And you look at the Viper this year, you got two middle backers, Burnham and Tuialamaka. And then you got the most likely starter, Botello, who's been a Rover for the last 2 years. So he's made him a Viper. I think it's very interchangeable, some of these spots. The Mike and Will, Notre Dame's just going to play your two stack backer guys. But what some of the early things Freeman did when he came aboard was move Foskey to Mike, played that 3-3. I think we're going to see a lot of that this year with Burnham, Botello, Tuialamaka, because they can play inside linebacker if needed.
All right, so that's the news. Taebron Bennie-Powell committing to Notre Dame. I would tell people to let us know your thoughts on this commitment in the comment section, but I'm sure by 9 minutes you've already done that. So I won't even tell you to because you've already done it. But hit that thumbs up, please. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. More coverage on this news over at blueandgold.com. So head over to the website to check all of that out. Maybe more commitments on the way for Notre Dame. Tim, I think on a live show, maybe it wasn't a live show with you. I think it might have been with Trey Anthony on a Friday show. I put the over under at June commitments at 5.5. So This is 4 now for Notre Dame. Okay. Could get to 5 Saturday. Could there be more in the month of June? Just have to wait and see. So again, stay locked in to our YouTube channel here and blueandgold.com. Appreciate you folks. And as always, we will catch you next time.